Well, here we are, number 2 today. I hope you all followed fine. I was talking to Math 7, first of all, about eyes are always the mirror of the soul. So it's how you're perceiving the world out there. And when you get stuck, when you get caught, what will happen is if everything begins, it's like if it doesn't fit your perceived or your desired effect, that's where flexibility comes in. And so it is the matter of that. 5, 8, what did you do here? 5, 8, 12, and 14, right? So the 5 is really more knowledge needed, but the truth is really about you opening up to possibility, being flexible, not being rigid. Anytime you get rigid, your eyes are looking to how do you, it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together that does, the pieces don't go together. So you have to be, there's a have to in there, being more flexible and creating balance in the awareness in what you're creating and what you're doing. And that means acceptance of self, acceptance of others, accepting of different ideas, and then balance. How do we balance that? How do we bring that all into effect? So, yes, you have a job, but we've talked about this, we've emailed about it, and it really is letting go. I would say it really is like letting go. You need to listen, to work with it, balance it, figure it, because you've got both the 8 and the 14 are balanced numbers. 5 is use the information you're being given. And 12 is acceptance. You got to accept that. Sometimes it's hard when we're not getting the results we want. And like, people are saying, like me, you're needing to be more flexible. You're needing to be more open and not be so rigid that it's got to be this way or that way, or this is how it's supposed to be. And when it isn't, and so it's learning like all the things. So those of you that are finding me again, thank you. I don't know. I really have to, I've got a person who's going to help me with my page soon. And hopefully we can figure out why this happens. Okay, Karen Glee, thank you. Yes, I'm back. Karen Barney says, welcome back. But I need some more people with questions. So type in something that I can figure out here. Otherwise, this one will be short and sweet. Well, when in doubt. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Says no prayer. Right. Sorry about that. Let me just do. I do this sometimes. I get so caught up in explaining, I forget the prayer part. I know there is one power and there's one essence, and as I speak my word from Math 7, I know the growth factor that is going on, the coming to understand, the balancing of all the different bits and pieces. And I'm looking at a huge jigsaw where I'm trying to get all the pieces to fit. My perception is the acceptance is that they're not going to fit. And it's like looking at what those ones that don't fit and leaving them to the side so you can work with the ones that do fit, so that you can utilize rather than utilize the balancing and understanding and the fitting and discarding those things that don't fit. And that's anyway. And knowing that, as I release that, the awareness of strength person of where you're heading and where you're going will make a huge, big difference. Okay, Karen B. I got to be careful. Press on the book and the TV thing. Relationships. 22, 16, and 12. 22 is having faith as you move forward, like you're walking on your own, knowing that everything is in its right place in a way. But 16 says, what do you do when everything in relationships, which is what we're looking at, kind of gets messed up. Someone says something and maybe hurts, maybe uncertainty, raises questions, all of those different things that go on is about just accepting. Just because, and this is the second time it's showing up that I know where I'm saying to people, watch what others are saying to you. So I don't know what's out there in the ethers, but this is the third time tonight that's come up. I don't know what's happening out there on the ethers. I'm not sure. But if you have a person that's saying, this is how it's supposed to be, this is what you're supposed to do, this is where it goes, this is whatever, is when you pull your aura in and you get really strong in yourself, because you have to ask almost, does it relate to you? We have a tendency when there's an argument or when there's a discussion that doesn't quite fit, is that we want to defend and justify our position. It's a given, but it's not effective. It's not effective in the desired, the end result that you really are wanting. Where we go. So it's like knowing the direction of where you're heading and where you're going and what you're doing. We cannot control other people. We can only be in command. And notice the difference of the word control or command. Command means we are balanced and we are aware. We only can be in command of our own feelings, our own responses, and our own awarenesses. And sometimes we're like most people, if you're like me, often you'll answer without thinking. Don't do my work that way, but in personal relationships, I can. So Karen B, you just need to have faith in yourself and accept other people doing what they're doing. So I know in the one power and the fact and one essence that you're strengthening with every breath that you take in the here and now. You strengthen into your faith, into your awareness, and you walk your path. And if others are not happy with your path, accept. They're not happy with it. It doesn't mean that you have to give it up. Doesn't mean you have to change being who you are. It means that you rejoice in knowing where you're going and what you're doing. And so I give thanks in that for what you're achieving and where you're going and what you're doing by saying, and so it is. Amen. Oh, really? Karen saying her husband said the internet froze 3 times today at work. Yeah, there's something going on out there, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big, I'm just a little computer in me, so I'm not sure. I know that we have difficulties. I know Monday is one of the worst, but I also have it other days too. Okay, Karen Lee. Okay. What you say. I understand the murky and the fretting as my home has been under renovation since March, and I'm feeling turned about and stuck in limbo in the mess, etc. But I keep telling myself it will be worth it. Do you have a picture, a drawing of what the end result will be? Because I know renovations, I've lived through them a couple of times, drive me crazy. But if you can get the picture drawn of what the end result will look like, and that's what you look towards. That's what you go to the direction of where you're heading and what you're wanting. And that is what's important. We know here because of the 22, you just have to have faith. It will be done. And yes, there's backsliding, there's all sorts of things and everything. Karen, we get it on paper and stick it on the wall. Get somebody who can draw or something, a picture from somewhere else, whatever. You need an outside picture besides one in your mind, because that's where you get, because you're dealing with all the outside stuff that's going on and you're having to deal with it. And you're having to, because 12 is there, the acceptance is there. Anyway, I don't think I did a treatment. I have to get lots of reminders. Let me see. I'm gonna have to do something about that. I've noticed a couple of times I forget to do treatments, and this is what the whole thing is about. Okay. Knowing there is one power and one essence, I speak my word for Karen Lee, I guess I'm working with here. Oh, I was working for Karen B. I was doing Karen B's as well. Oh, well. Anyway, this is for anybody out there that wants anything to do with the direction of other people, because that's what we're getting here tonight. Other people's projections, statements, etc. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that we're all connected into what I call the love force. People call God, Allah, they call whatever, Christ, Jesus, any name, it doesn't matter. That force and power is there for you. I also know that if you relax within yourself, and especially in your heart, and get out of your heads, that the glory of that energy is there. The reminder that miracles happen, that results that you're wanting will take form. And even so, sometimes the form is not when you want it or how you want it. It is there, and then you accept and you move on into creating the next form. Dealing with people is not always the easiest thing to do, because they also have their fears, anxieties, frustrations running within them. And very often we have a perception of how life is supposed to look, especially if you have any rigid beliefs in the system. So if you're dealing with someone and they have a rigid belief, they find that really hard to let go of, because they think that's how it is. Well, maybe it's that for them, but it isn't necessarily for you, because everyone is their own connection to divine source. Everyone. And how you utilize that and how you listen to it and how you project that is yours. Do we always do it perfectly? No. But in knowing that, that's okay too, because that's how we come to understand and smarten up and just relax more into loving who we are, recognize the energy is there. Whatever name you want to put to it. I really don't think I think people get hung up on the names. Divine intelligence was something that I worked with for a long time and won some courses that I took. You know, the divine awareness, all the different aspects that go on. So generally, because of this whole thing about other people, what's going on, take a big breath and know you are sufficient. You are loved for you, and you will be able to create what you want, how you want, and where you want. Okay. Oh, Mask is asking about January 21st. Yes, you have your time slot of 20 minutes. And if it goes a little longer, it won't matter. And they're one-on-one. Yeah, it's not a group. Okay, let's see what we got. Karen Barney says, they remodeled 3 times. Hang in there. Yeah. Karen Lee, thank you so much, Norma, for all that you do for us. Well, it's my absolute pleasure. This is my favorite evening. Karen Lee says, thanks, Karen B. Ashika, hello. How are you? Let's see what you've got here for me. 2, 15. Here's 15 again, 18. Oh, also 22. Well, yeah, that's good. Treatment for my knee, hip, and lower back, as we have done many times now. Let me just look at this. We've got the high priestess. We've got the devil. We've got the moon. These are all emotional numbers. And then we've got 22 says faith. One of the elements of emotion is powerful. When we put emotion behind a thought, the thought is given, it's like an engine, it takes it and you go down the road, and because the engine's going. If you're in a car and you're stationary, it's not until we engage and then it goes. That's emotion in a person's life. Where are you putting? We can do all the mental stuff, put emotion in there, boom. What you're doing here, Ashika, is that you're getting frustrated, etc.